you guys, welcome to the GymnastFix YouTube channel, episode number 3. If you missed 1 and 2, make sure you pause this one and go back, check out the first 2, okay? Today for episode number 3, I have my dear friend Mia here. Hello Mia. Now you're going to be shy. We had to wait for a second to record this because Mia couldn't stop laughing. Okay, so now we have shy Mia. Alright, so today we're going to talk about a really big deal in my world. What do you think we're going to talk about? Big, huge, like the most important topic. Huge, big. What are we going to talk about? You know. The big toe, okay? Big toe, big deal. In my world, this is huge because if you watched the last video, we talked about dorsiflexion, or what is that in English called? Flex feet. Well, big toe, we also go through dorsiflexion, but big toe dorsiflexion puts us up on our toes like that. If I kick these off, Mia, you can't tell everyone at home that my feet smell, okay? Or if I kick those off, that right there is big toe dorsiflexion, okay? What is that called in your world? High toe. Okay, high toe, or like releve. My world, big toe dorsiflexion. What is that called in your world? Point. My world, it's big toe plantar flexion. But again, this one's about big toe dorsiflexion or up on releve. Why is that a big deal? Why is that important? Because how often do you do that during your day of gymnastics? Tell them.
All day, pretty much.
All day, right? On beam. If you're walking across the beam, how are you walking across the beam? Show me. I should have got my beam out. Up on high toe, up on releve, big toe dorsiflexion. If I had you sprint across this room like you're sprinting for the vault runway, or for the vault on the runway, how would you sprint? On your heels? I hope not on your heels. You'd be up on your toes, right? Okay, don't say that, you're a great runner. Okay, all right, so there's a few ways that you can intentionally train big toe dorsiflexion, just like we talked last week about dorsiflexion of our ankles. You want to train that because we use it. You would never go to a meet and do something that you don't train, right? What's a bar dismount that you don't train? Double back. So like when you go to, what meet are you going to soon? Excited about it? Sand dollar. When you go to sand dollar, you won't just throw a double back because you don't train it, right? So how do we expect our gymnasts to be so good at this position if they don't intentionally train it? Well, I'm going to give you a couple ways to train it. Now here's the downfall to not training it. If we don't have adequate big toe dorsiflexion or big toe movement, we have to rob from another joint. I call it robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's not a phrase I came up with by any means, we all know that. But if we rob Peter to pay Paul, we're going to steal from our big toe and go at the knees or the hip. So if I'm getting to you and I can't push through my big toe because I'm not quite flexible enough, how am I going to get to you? I might turn my foot out. I might overextend my back. I might create something called a bunion. I might create turf toe. I might create medial knee pain. I mean, the list goes on and on. So if we're gonna get some more big toe movement, let's first test it. Right, so yeah, I want you to go down on your knees, face that direction for me. All right, put your toes underneath you and sit back. Is that comfortable? Yes, it's comfortable for her, so she has adequate big toe movement there. You're gonna find though in your gymnast that some people really don't like this position, or if they go into this position, turn that way for me. Back to the camera. There we go. Big toes under. They're gonna sit back, and as you sit back, they're gonna get into that position because they're really trying to avoid that joint right there. Where are they robbing motion now? From the ankle, okay? So come on up. If you have a gymnast that you feel like can't push through their toes, maybe they're not quite dynamic when they run real flat-footed, they're not real springy during their tumbling, say they have big toe pain, ankle or knee pain, start them by rolling out their feet. It's really simple. This is a lacrosse ball. Turn face these guys. I know you've done it before. Roll out your foot with that lacrosse ball. You can do this standing. You can do it kneeling. So I like a lacrosse ball. You could also use a golf ball. So with a golf ball, you can get a little bit more specific. Do y'all need us to move? Okay. How does that feel? Should feel pretty good. good, right? This is kind of like massaging the bottom of the foot. So I like warming up the foot with this, getting that tissue really mobile, really hydrated as well. So kind of like a warm up to your practice, we'll warm up our foot. Okay, so we do that for 30 seconds to a minute. Then you go back to that kneeling position, feet under, sit back on your toes. Now, pretend like these are your big toes. You're going to use those big toes to push you up. Let's face that way. All right, so you're going to sit back on your toes. Now use those big toes to sit you up. Good. So we're extending them, and now we're strengthening them in that position. Come on back one more time. And up through your big toes. Beautiful. Where do you feel that? Yeah, it's like bicep curls for your big toes. How much stronger are you going to feel when you're sprinting if these suckers are actually doing their job, right? All right, the last way that I like to mobilize these things is stand up. You're going to come over here. Do not hit your noggin on this. You're going to put your toe right up against the rack like that. We might have to go in the doorway. Try that for me. Watch it. There you go. All right. So you walk up to, I like a doorway, but we'll use this for right now. Walk up to it, now lean forward. All right, you feel a good stretch there? Okay, now, over a minute's time, you're going to ramp up by pressing your big toe into the wall or into the structure. So I want you to try to push your big toe into this, but only give you about 20% effort, okay? And again, over a minute, we're going to start slowly ramping up, maybe 40%. We'll speed this up for the sake of the video. 60%, 80%, and then lastly, finish up that minute with everything you got. So safest amount of energy you're pressing in without moving away. Now relax, but stay there. Now you're going to take that big toe and you're going to try to pry it off. So you're trying to pull without moving your foot away. So you're trying to keep that on the ground. You're trying to pull that off. It's physically may not happen. For most people this won't happen, but you're at least going to try. You feel that all through the top of your foot. So now you're giving yourself really good flexibility at that joint, but now you're building strength at that range of motion, which typically gymnasts really lack. Gymnasts are really flexible. They can get to this really extreme terminal range of motion in their joints, but they're not strong there. And that really leads us to be susceptible to injury there. So this is a great way to make sure that your toes are bulletproof. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about the big toe is individual movement at that level. Take off your sock for me. Pretty sure Mia has some cute toes right now. All right, Mia, can you raise just that big toe? Beautiful. Try that at home, and I guarantee you it'll surprise you, because you'll look down at your big toe and you'll try to raise it and you won't know what's going on. It's like your brain doesn't quite talk to it. How do you fix that? Practice it. So Mia's practiced this and she's great at it. So this is called toe yoga. So you're intentionally trying to raise that toe individually or independently of your other toes. Good, put that down. Now raise those four. Beautiful. Now can you kind of play them like a piano? Expert level at toe yoga. Give that a try at home. I bet you it's not going to be quite that easy. All right, guys, so this is big toe, big deal. If you have more topics that you want us to touch on, please put them in the comments below. Again, if you haven't checked out 1 and 2, go back, check those out. And I will see y'all next week. Thanks, Mia, for joining us.